Welcome into a special Wednesday edition of Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV. Brandon Lewis still in Dose alongside me tonight. Yeah, a special Wednesday edition because we've got wrestling coverage tomorrow on KFJB-TV.
That's right. We've got singlet action, and then we're going to have Coach Luke Cross in the third segment. So
have you ever worn a singlet? It'd be interesting to see you in one these days.
I save singlets for Sundays. It's a sacred garment.
Singlet Sundays. I like the ring to that. Dustin Peterson, how are you?
I'm good.
You ever worn a singlet on the bowling alley?
No, never. Anywhere.
Sydney May with us. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. We're here to talk girls bowling with us on KFJB-TV here tonight. Off to the season 2-2. I know you were in action last night, a tough loss against Ottumwa, but tell me about how the season's going so far.
So far I think it's kind of going to script, I would say. We started off the season with Des Moines North, and that was a good startup for us, and then we led that right into Des Moines Hoover. And they are a little bit better than Des Moines North, and so a little bit more of a test. Mm-hmm. Des Moines East was next, and we knew that was going to be a real test. And unfortunately, we came up just a little short with them. But at the same time, we had our best night. That was our best night so far. And then going into Ottumwa, Ottumwa's a different beast. So Ottumwa and Des Moines Lincoln, they stand alone in girls bowling. So
yeah. As you get into this season, who are you really looking at as far as stepping up into those top roles to lead you on a given night?
Well, this year has been it's a little bit different because Sydney's been doing a really good job week in, week out, stepping up, and I think you've been the top scorer almost every single week so far. We have some other girls too, Ariana and Devin, and some other people have really done well. And then we get some that I wasn't expecting. Kind of yesterday, some of our top bowlers didn't bowl so well, but we had other girls who really stepped up and had good games. So that's nice to see. I have 2 foreign exchange students who are bowling well.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it's kind of a nice surprise to get some of those ladies into the mix, kind of build up your depth, I guess you could say.
Yeah, like right now we have 11 girls on the team. 9 of them are currently active, and we kind of move things around. We kind of have to switch things up a little bit, and we got into Baker's and we made some moves, and we kind of have pieces where we can really afford to do that right now. Mm-hmm. So that's nice.
One of the things is you look at your team, it's a younger squad. Sydney, you're a junior, correct?
Yep.
And so as you've been scoring in that junior role, usually a little bit you look to the seniors, but you're kind of the person to look to. How do you take on that leadership role with the fellow bowlers on the team?
I don't know.
Are you a lead by example, or are you down there chucking bowling balls and yelling at teammates?
I don't think it's the second option.
Yeah, not the second one. So when you look at, and really in your role of having a lot of success, what do you look for? What is your personal goal for this year as you look at getting better as a bowler?
I am honestly just worried about getting my average up a little bit,
What's your average right now?
Like
a 143.
143? All right. Much better than I could even come close to doing. So
much better from the end of last year.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome.
She's really jumped up probably, I think, 20 pins. Yeah. So
do you have a number in the back of your mind, Sydney, that you're looking for? Is that 150? Is it 155? Is it just getting better?
Probably like 160.
160, all right. All right, again, she can take us out behind the woodshed.
Don't be cutting her short.
Right.
I think at the company bowling outing last year, I think maybe I got to 90. I don't remember what it was. What did you get to?
I did all right. I was in the 140s. But,
oh, wow.
Good for you. Ashley took us to the woodshed. And
she brought her own ball.
I think I got second, and I lost by about 50 pins.
Yeah,
so.
You have your own ball, shoes, all that? Okay. All right. How long you been bowling?
Since freshman year.
Freshman year, okay. And probably off and on when you were a kid?
Yeah.
But this is more of a, big time now.
That's one of the differences from this year's team from last year's team is pretty much all the girls we have this year all started out as freshmen or later.
Yeah. Okay.
So we don't have any of the, kids who started when they were 5 years old and are still bowling. So that's kind of nice to see the growth of all the girls.
Oh, I'm sure.
And part of that, in looking at the growth of bowling, and here we're at Wayward Social. There's over 20 lanes. You see bowling frenzy going off. Often we have our coaches show on Thursday, which is league night. But I know talking to some of those people in league night, they talk about looking at the Bobcat squad as something that they're proud of. Can you talk about maybe the community collaboration or the connections with the Bobcat squad with maybe some of our older bowlers that are just community members?
I mean, it's really kind of nice. We get a very good crowd for home meets, and honestly, depending on where we're going, we get a lot of parents who travel too, and that's really nice. And then when we're here, there's some days where we have practice in the afternoon, and there might be the senior league is finishing up right before we're getting ready to start, and they'll come over and say hi and talk, and it's always kind of nice. So.
I'm sure they're like the senior golfers you see. They're always apt to throw along a few tips and tricks, right?
Yeah. We've had some pretty fun. Not just here too. Last year we made a trip up to Eldora just for the day, just to try something different, and it was really kind of fun because they had their senior league going at the same time, and they only have 6 lanes, so they were right with us.
Yeah,
and it was really fun for the girls, and they really enjoyed it up there too. So.
What are some of those things that maybe the common bowler doesn't think about that you are working with your players? Is it just positioning and lane, depending on where the pins are set? What's kind of the things you kind of work at?
I mean, it's kind of the basic things like balance at the line, making sure that they're following through, making sure they're releasing the ball at certain spots. So it's those little things, making sure they hit their marks. So many times I'll have someone look at me and go, "What am I doing wrong?" Did you hit your mark? No. Okay, let's start there.
Yeah. Next up is Tuesday night, right? You're in action?
Yeah.
You're being attacked by the tinsel back here. Are you all right?
As long as there's no mistletoe, we're good.
Well, there's something hanging right here. Tuesday night, Roosevelt, right? Next match.
Yeah, and that's going to be a good one for us too. They're pretty much equal with us right now, and so we need to come and bowl that day.
Good deal. Sydney, I know Dylan kind of asked your goals, but when you go into a match, what's kind of your mindset? Is there anything you do to kind of get ready on that match day?
Just not think about it.
Does that usually go pretty well?
Yeah.
That's good. Much like Dylan.
Yeah, just blank slate.
Just blank slate.
Let the thoughts come in and leave, and then I'll hear them when everyone else does.
Yeah, hey, great to see you, and best of luck. And we'll be talking to you, I think, coming in January. I think we'll talk to you again on Bobcat Live. Best of luck rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right. You're watching Bobcat Live. Coming up, we talk basketball next as you see Rogelio Sarin over here. Are you gaming? He's gaming over here. I hear you might win a pizza or something if you do well in the races later. So, hey, we are at Bobcat Live inside Rosie's at Wayward Social on KFJB-TV. As you walk inside, you know right away the place for fun is Wayward Social. There's always plenty of bowling action, so plan for your next outing to include bowling at Wayward Social. Also, meet your friends for lunch, dinner, or your favorite beverages. You will also absolutely love their daily lunch specials, Monday through Friday, including endless pizza by the slice. You choose the toppings. Wayward Social is now open at 11:30 a.m., 7 days a week. Wayward Social on South 6th Street in Marshalltown.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Scouts in Marshalltown go on fun adventures. Scouts learn about the outdoors. Scouts learn character building. Scouts learn citizenship. Scouts learn life skills. Scouts learn to be leaders. Scouts go to fun summer camps, and Scouts get a head start in life. Marshalltown has produced over 200 Eagle Scouts in our over 70-year history and have provided over 1 million hours of service to our community. To learn more about joining Scouting in Marshalltown, go to iascouts.org. Adventure on!
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Hey, welcome back to Bobcat Live. Oh, yeah, now Xayvion, he's ready for the camera. He was over there playing go-kart just a few seconds ago.
Go-kart? It's Mario Kart. It's a very famous,
wow.
very famous.
Sorry, I was always playing Madden and, things like that. I was playing NBA games, all that good stuff back in the day. How about you? Were you much of a gamer?
I played a lot of Mario Kart.
A lot of Mario Kart.
Nintendo 64 Mario Kart. Oh, yeah.
So I'm a Super Nintendo Mario Kart.
Okay.
I remember when it came out. I was a very, very happy young kid.
I was also we had the old school Nintendo with the duck game. You could shoot the ducks.
Oh, yeah.
I love that game. Rogelio?
Not much of a gamer.
Not much of a gamer?
I used to be, yeah.
Okay.
He spends all his time studying.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
right.
responsible,
Yep.
Rogelio.
Yep.
Is that because Mom's right over here? Or what? Hey, we welcome in Mike Appel, head coach for the Bobcats, and Rogelio Sarin as they are on Bobcat Live. Dylan's down on the end here. We're trying to squeeze
I'm right here.
all the big guys here in this segment on the show. Last night in action got you guys record back to 2-4 with a win, 52-43, as the Bobcats took down the Lincoln Rail Splitters. Coach, just a really good team win overall. A lot of things done really well. Corey Smith was our player of the game last night, but a lot of guys did good things. Corey's here.
Yeah,
he's right there. The senior with a good one.
He's elbow deep in like some cheese curds or something over there.
Anyway, just a good team win. What was your thoughts as you've had a little bit of time to kind of think about that game last night?
Yeah, just our effort and how hard we played from the tip all the way to the end of the game. I thought our guys were really locked in and ready to play, and then we made it really tough for them to score a lot of times, and having good defense like that is going to keep us in a lot of basketball games.
Yeah. Rogelio, how tall are you? What, 6'2"?
6 foot.
6 foot?
Yeah.
6 foot? All right. That's the one thing. There's not a ton of height on this team, right? A lot of guards, that kind of thing. But the way you guys are able to go out and rebound and get the job done, you mentioned last night, it's got to take all five of you out there on the floor to be able to get the job done. How much do you kind of accept that as a challenge that you're kind of the big man in that roll down low to get those, maybe feed, get an assist, and set somebody up?
Yeah, well, someone has to do it, and if that was what we have to do to win, then I'm up for the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying that I know like we can lose off of rebounds, and we can also win off of rebounds, and I know how big it is, so I really accept that challenge.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was going to say last night I thought you specifically, but team in general, the rebounding effort was much better. Friday night in a win, still gave up 15 offensive rebounds to Mason City, but last night Charlie Fry is a big guy, and you know that better than anyone, having to box him out, deal with him all night. How do you look at that game? You're going to have to be doing a lot of things that may not be in the box score, but what you do is essential to winning. What's your mindset when you know you're going to go up against a real good player, 6'3", 6'4", 220 against? How's your mindset going into that?
Well, I just know I have to work my hardest and just do whatever I have to do to make the team come out victorious, and I think I did a pretty well job yesterday.
Yeah, definitely did. Brandon, you and I talked about it right out of the chute. As Rogelio, you were on the ground for a loose ball. All within the first 2 minutes, we saw the effort right away, the energy, and you really drove that. Coach, when you look at somebody like Ro, I know we've talked a lot about that, but that energy, that effort out there from the get-go, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's huge. You have to have guys like that are willing to, take on the big guys and rebound and do all the dirty work. So Ro's been doing that for a long time, since I've started watching him. He's kind of been that guy that plays hard and understands his role. He's not necessarily going to be a guy that's going to score a lot, but he's going to be a guy that does a lot of the other things to win games.
Mason City, though, you made it 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
I made 2.
You made 2 there. Yeah. Who's keeping track, though, right?
Yeah. He has ability to score, too. I mean, I'm not saying that at all.
No,
he definitely can. But, he understands that he has to usually guard the other team's biggest player, and he takes that challenge really well.
Yeah, you also rolled your ankle in the game against Mason City. I hate seeing that because I rolled my ankle numerous times. How's it feeling? Because basketball is one of those sports where, you're playing maybe 2 to 3 times in a week, and there's not a lot of opportunity to rest up.
Yeah, well, it's still lingering a little bit, but my teammate gave me a brace, and it's been helping a lot. So
tape it up, man.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a little bit just, and before we look at the team as a wider perspective, but Rogelio, you bring a lot. We've talked about the energy, but also a little bit of that attitude, a little bit of that chip on the shoulder, and that was, I thought, late against Mason City. Your tenacity was there, and then after that final buzzer went, you kind of showed a little bit of that energy towards the Mason City crowd, and then even last night having some of the energy because there was some talking back and forth with Lincoln. My question to you is this. Is it sweeter to get that 2-point win on the road in front of a crowd that doesn't like you too much, or get that first home win in front of a crowd that likes you a lot?
On the road for sure.
There we go. That's the right answer. That's the right answer.
And especially they beat us in football too, so it was a little stingy from that.
Yeah.
It felt good.
Now, can you tell us what you said to the student section? Like, good to see you, or what was it? Was it friendly?
I honestly don't remember. It was just a blur.
Because Mom's here, right?
Yeah.
Well, Karina was saying some stuff last night from the crowd too, and she told me ahead of time. She says that's where Rogelio gets it from. So
that's funny. Friday night, it's going to be at home inside the Roundhouse, girls boys doubleheader here on KFJB-TV. Fort Dodge, the Dodgers in town. What do you kind of know about them coming in?
Well, from just watching some film here, they play really hard. They take pride in what they're trying to do, and they run primarily zone on defense. So we got to be ready for that and be ready to attack it and not necessarily always settle for shots. We need to be aggressive to the rim.
Rogelio?
I know they don't have that much of height, so we kind of match well with them. So
you looking to exploit it?
Yeah. Just working harder than them should, I feel like, come out good for us. But.
Is this a team overall that you guys, I've noticed you playing a little bit faster than years past. Sometimes it's kind of set up the offense and then work it inside down to the paint. This year's team, it's kind of, if it's open, we're
working
you're
on
going.
that a little bit. Yeah, we got some guys that have the ability to shoot it really well when they get hot.
Yeah.
So it's just understanding kind of time and score, and if we miss 3 or 4 in a row, we don't necessarily need to shoot it with 25 seconds left. So those are things we've been really emphasizing the past couple practices, try and get better. Obviously if we get it going, you're going to let it fly, and it doesn't really matter what time it's at in the clock, but just understanding if we need a bucket, we need to slow it down and get something really good to the rim.
Speaking of the clock, Dylan and I were talking about it last night. Just all the changes that have happened over the past couple of years with the addition of the shot clock, and then this year with the 5 fouls you got to get to. Last night was the first time this season that's really impacted because it was a fairly close game, but you guys were able to extend it out because they had to get to 5. They had 0, I believe, 0 or 1. And so they had to foul you 4 straight times, and that just kept wasting time off the clock. It's an advantage to work if you're in that situation.
Yeah, it is. It's a little different, obviously, when you have 3 or 4 fouls, or the other team has 3 or 4 fouls, early in the half even. Just understanding that and being aggressive to the rim and trying to get more fouls to get into that bonus where you're shooting 2 free throws. That's huge. So just things like that, better awareness of understanding. When the teams are getting close to that 5 fouls.
And just as I'm looking at, we've got 2 games before Christmas. You got to take care of Fort Dodge and then Des Moines East, so that still, going into Christmas, there's a chance at 500. You now have the team that is your team, with Trey being out. Beginning of the season starts slow. What are the by Christmas goals that you guys have set for yourself?
Right now we're just approaching it one practice at a time and continue to get better each day. And our guys are doing that. They're showing that, in practice. They're working hard and they have a good attitude about it, just really locking in for 90 minutes each practice to be as best as we can be. And that will prepare us for that next game that we play.
Practice?
Yeah.
Talking about practice.
Yeah.
Good luck at practice tomorrow before Friday night, all right, Rogelio?
Yeah, thank you.
By the way, what sport did you get from Mom? Was she a basketball? Was she a hooper?
No.
Back in the day?
No.
The grades. I like, hey, you're not going anywhere without good grades, right? That is for sure. Hey, best of luck. Appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Coach?
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
No, I having Ro tonight is just I met Ro when he was in 4th grade.
Oh, wow.
At Rogers, so I've known him a long time.
He was my PE
It's been
teacher.
really cool to see him grow as a person and as an athlete, and I'm really proud of him.
We haven't given the heart, hustle, and muscle, but after Friday night and Tuesday, we now pass the heart, hustle, and muscle on to Rogelio Sarin, everybody.
I give it. That's the right call.
Braden Weatherly is proud of you.
I bet he is.
Hey, Bobcat Live from Wayward Social. When we come back, we will talk wrestling. We've got a guy who's got pretty good heart, hustle, and muscle as well. He's gone to Wells Fargo Arena wrestling. It's Xayvion Anderson. We'll talk to him and Coach Luke Cross when we come back. This is Bobcat Live. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started by giving Zach Wall a call at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or visiting edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This is Lindsay, Director of the Embers Retirement Community in Marshalltown. The holidays are a very special time at the Embers. We decorate the common areas with beautiful, festive decorations. Our residents personalize their apartments with their own decorations too. Family members from around the area and the country come to visit their loved ones. It's a fun time of the year, full of warmth. This time next year, you could be decorating your own apartment. Wishing you a safe and Merry Christmas from the Embers Retirement Community.
Honest Heating and Cooling wants you to save your hard-earned money for the holidays, not a service call. So change the batteries in your thermostat and hit that furnace filter while you're at it. Then a quick check of your furnace vent pipe to be sure it's free of debris. Do you have a carbon monoxide detector? You should, on every floor. So until the new year, Honest Heating and Cooling is offering a 10% discount on installations, low-level carbon monoxide safety equipment, and even service calls just in case. Happy holidays from Honest Heating and Cooling.
Since 1967, Jensen Ford Lincoln has served generations of families around central Iowa. Quality vehicles, professional service, knowledge of our product, that's a part of Jensen. But what's more important to us is a trust that is passed down from every previous generation. Jensen Ford Lincoln wants to serve your family for generations. We want to be there for your first car. We want to be there for your family SUV. And we want to see you drive away in the Mustang you always dreamed of. At Jensen, we want to be here for you now and every mile along the way.
Welcome back, Bobcat Live at Wayward Social. We are inside Rosie's Mario Kart. Xayvion Anderson was playing that earlier tonight. How'd you do?
I was in first for a little bit and
Okay.
then started slipping away, and I raged and put it down. I couldn't handle it no more.
You're one of them, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Take it anymore.
And that's like my stepson, too. He rage quits every now and then, too. So, big gamer back in the day, Coach?
You know, I never really was. I had the old school Nintendo.
Okay, yeah.
So the duck hunt you're talking about, the old track and field with the pad, that was my style of gaming. So didn't go past that, though.
That's been about 20, 30 years ago, right?
I'm probably older than I look. So, yeah.
Hey, we've got Luke Cross, Xayvion Anderson wrestling out here tonight. We are excited tomorrow night. We will have your matches. You take on Attema. That will be broadcast here on KFJB-TV. How's the season been going so far for you, Coach?
So far, it's been going pretty dang well. We've had some great success in duels. We've lost a couple of duels, that were tight that we could have won. But one of the highlights so far is that we won the Williamsburg duels, and that was obviously a big step for us in our program. We haven't really won as far as I know, we haven't won anything in a long time, so that was good. Good feeling.
Yeah, to see that. I know you've been working hard. There's a lot of guys who have been very instrumental into that success that I look at. Johan Gomez, Nick Wise. They could kind of go down the list, but it sounds like it's been very competitive for some weight classes and some individuals competing for spots on the varsity roster. Is that right?
Yeah, and our lineup is not solidified by any standard right now. So we talked about it tonight. There's people that are going to be shifting around. There's young kids. We got a strong sophomore and junior class, and we have some depth. So we got kids that are vying for a varsity spot, and they may not be there right now, but it will change.
Yeah.
And Coach, when you look at that, you have a couple dual losses that are close, and as a coach, you have those little teaching moments. That's something that you can definitely get into your kids. But then you also have a competitive wrestling room. Are you seeing those things as things just to get you ready for the real heart of the schedule? Do you see maybe even those small losses as being maybe advantageous for late in the year?
Yeah, absolutely. Our very first duel we lost to Ames, and that one hurts us a little bit, especially looking down the road with conference and that sort of thing. But looking at that one, we gave them 18 points in that duel, 2 because of forfeits and because of the weight plans and how people are able to descend for healthy weight loss. And one kid didn't make weight, so that stung us pretty bad. So looking back at it, if we had the full lineup, we win that duel, and they're currently ranked 9th in state in the duel rankings. So a little adversity there for sure. But what I've told the guys is that you need to have a short-term memory in this sport. Whether you lose or you win, you need to just keep moving forward. If you're down in the dumps, keep crawling out of that hole. And if you're on top and you're thinking that you're the top dog and you do nothing, you won't be top dog very long.
Somebody will humble you pretty quick, right? I mean, that's the thing about wrestling is, one little slip up or, can kind of cost you, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, just this past weekend, one little slip up for me cost me a match, and if that was a match that was very much in my reach too. So anything can happen in this sport.
As you've gone through your career and the success that you've had, how do you think that helps? Like going to Wells Fargo Arena and competing in the state tournament, do you think that just gives you confidence as you grow, or what's the biggest aspect of being able to compete at that highest level?
Honestly, making it to state, it's like it gives me that little boost because I saw how cool it was there, and every year you want to keep going and going. So that's really, it gives me a little confidence boost.
Yeah,
sure.
So with being a leader both just on the mat but also in that wrestling room, with your experience at state and with some of this, what do you see your role as a leader? How do you communicate that to other wrestlers that their goal is to get to state?
Mostly, I try to keep people going when they're not drilling or they're trying to walk off the mat, take a break, and get water when we're not supposed to. I'm like, you're not going to get to where you want to be if you're going to keep taking breaks when you're uncomfortable.
And how important is that to have another student athlete peer-to-peer be able to speak into that for you as a coach?
It's been a lot of fun watching Xayvion and Damian Rodriguez. Those two have kind of stepped into the leadership role this year. We lost 3 seniors last year that were great leaders, and these guys, it's fun to watch them step up and take that role. And like he was talking about, Xayvion's not a kid that cuts corners ever in anything that he does, and he wants all his team to emulate that very thing. So he's always pushing them to the brink. So it's cool.
What's your scouting report on Attemo for tomorrow night?
It's going to be a highly competitive duel. Once again, our lineup is not perfect. We've had some little adversity. Kenton Niehaus he's nursing a shoulder injury, so he's going to be out. So we got a freshman coming in at 150 pounds tomorrow, Gaston Ferris. We will still be open at the 106-pound weight class, so we're giving up 6 points there. And 175, Dalton is also going to be out for the duel as well. So we'll probably bump up Zach Kirkland from 165 to 175. So the point is we're not exactly where we want to be, but it's still a manageable duel if the guys take care of what they're supposed to take care of, on the mat. So.
It's kind of interesting because wrestling is such a team sport, but it's also an individual sport, much like golf. You can get to state as a team or individually, in that aspect. So how do you kind of manage the two, or does it just operate like one? If you've got just different wrestlers excelling at different points in the season.
So it kind of depends on the event itself. In a duel situation where it's head-to-head versus like Ottumwa, the wrestlers definitely feed off each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's some huge momentum shifts in a duel. You have someone that gets maybe an upset, and that rallies the next person to do better than they maybe would have done. And then, like in a tournament setting, though, it's that rallying point is very important. While you look at a tournament, an individual tournament especially, people think about themselves individually, how they do in a bracket. But you can see huge momentum swings in individual tournaments where, you might be vying for a team title. So you're just trying to get as many bonus points as possible. So, bonus points would be, scoring a major decision by winning by 8 points or more, or a technical fall, winning by 15 points, or pinning them. So all those are 3 ways that you can get bonus points in wrestling. And when guys start doing that in our team, others start kind of emulating that and doing the same.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. It's kind of cool how that will work night in, night out. Going into Ottumwa, your matchup, what do you know about it?
I really don't know anything about my guy, but it's nothing. Even if I know anything about him or I don't, I'm still going to go out there, warm up the same, do everything the same, not worry about it, because that's when you start getting in your head and stuff. So,
how do you prepare yourself for a wrestling match?
Johan Gomez is my wrestling partner, so me and him, we get a good solid warm up in. We like to wrestle like a match, but with 1 minute, a 1 minute match, and that gets us going, gets a good sweat, gets us ready for the actual match coming up.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things in wrestling is, trying to avoid cold starts. And if you can get if you can simulate a match within your team before you have the actual competition, you're so much better off.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that's crazy. How's girls doing so far this year?
Spectacular. Our numbers have doubled. So we were at 12 last year, and we're at 24, maybe 20. We might have lost a couple girls, but they're such great girls. They're eager to learn. They're always positive. And talk about being supportive of each other. You should watch those girls at duels and tournaments. They just rally around each other like I've never seen before. It's so much
awesome.
Fun.
Yeah. Who's in one of the girls to keep an eye out this year that's really making a name for herself?
Well, Deanna Mencius, who you guys know from last year. She's having a heck of a year. Gigi Lantigua, she's having a good year. An upcomer that's new to our program is Ava Kusro. And she's athletic as all get out, and she's picking up the sport quite well. So, and I don't want to leave anyone out, but those are 3 that kind of popped in my head right away.
So how many wrestlers do you have in your room right now? Last year you were doing that kind of trying to be everywhere and anywhere. Had about 60 wrestlers in the room with the boys and the girls. How many you got in the room?
Oh, sometimes it's a hot mess. I'll just say that. If we have the full lineup of the boys and girls there, we're looking at 70 wrestlers in the room, and some of our coaches can't. They work other jobs outside of town, so there's times when it's just 2, maybe 3 coaches there for those 70 wrestlers, and it's a hard start. But once all their coaches are there in full force, then it's pretty easy to go.
Yeah. How, do you work on technique or certain moves, or what do you try to aim on in practice individually?
Well, we start out and we warm up with just takedowns with your partner, and then Coach Cross he'll show us some technique moves, and we'll go and do those, and we'll work on moves, stuff we need to do. He has papers up in the room of what we need to work on, so we can always go and ask coaches what help we need, and then after that we go and wrestle matches, and that's about it.
Yeah. And one thing I was thinking, Xayvion, when you were coming on, is so integral in the football season, which may be the ultimate team sport of everybody has to do their job for the bigger thing, to wrestling where, yes, there is a team essence to it, but on the mat, it's just you. What do you like about the just you on the mat compared to maybe your time on the football field?
On the football field, I could mess something up, and it would may change the whole outcome of the game. But on the wrestling mat, I can mess something up, and it's just gonna be on me. Really, it might affect the team a little bit, but really it's just mostly on me.
Well, we're looking forward to tomorrow night and our coverage here on KFJB-TV. Should be a great one. Now the girls wrestle at the same time in the roundhouse. Is that right?
Correct, yeah. So we'll start off with the JV matches, and then I believe what we're going to do is have the girls and the boys varsity wrestle at the same time. And that's partially because it's a tumble and they're a long drive. So we're going to try to respect their time and respect their location, and hopefully they'll do the same for us when we're down there.
Yeah, that is for
It
sure.
is a long drive.
It's a thankless drive. That is
Yes,
for
it
sure.
is.
Yes.
Hey, Xayvion, thanks so much for
thank
coming
you
on
guys for
tonight.
having me.
Appreciate the time. Coach Cross with us here at Wayward Social tonight. By the way, fifth quarter, students can purchase a wristband for $5 at the game, and they will get unlimited bowling for the rest of the night following the boys' game coming up on Friday night. And with a wristband, they will get access to food specials, $2 slices of pizza, 2-for-1 shareables, and also winter leagues right around the corner for January. Are you eating pizza? It's pizza in the diet right now?
Not right now.
Yeah, I figured probably not.
Yeah. That seems rude that you did that read with the wrestlers.
Maybe somebody can get some wings and you can have the celery on the side or something.
Celery.
Hey, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll talk girls basketball. They got a big win last night inside the Roundhouse. This is Bobcat Live. You're watching KFJB-TV.
This is Brady from Legends American Grill. The holiday season is upon us, and it's time to book your company or family get-togethers today. Legends has 2 private party rooms available to help ease with the stress and make your party a success. We even offer party package deals and banquet options to help with your planning process. Call Legends at 641-752-1237 and book your party today. Legends American Grill is Marshalltown Steakhouse.
The equity in your home is power. Power to remodel your home. Take a memorable vacation. Add a deck or patio. Lennox Employees Credit Union can help you unleash the financial power you possess with a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, fund a student loan, or pay for a wedding. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Online at lennoxecu.com. Small businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to marshalltown.org.
Ready to take the next step in your education? Look no further. Marshalltown Community College is your ticket to endless opportunities. Our dedicated faculty and diverse programs are your pathway to success. Whether you're pursuing a career in healthcare, industry, or earning your AA degree, MCC offers the flexibility you need. We provide convenient online classes and locations in Marshalltown and Grinnell. Picture yourself thriving at MCC. Your journey begins now. Discover more at marshalltowncommunitycollege.com.
Welcome back, Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV. Corey, what's going on with the looks, man? I don't know. Hey, welcome back. We are joined by girls basketball, Millie Heitman and Megan Heitman. How are you?
Good.
Good?
Good.
Good. We haven't seen you for a few games, Millie. I know you've been dealing with a little bit of a knee injury. How you feeling? How you doing?
Okay.
You're okay. Could be better, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last night, though, you were out there supporting your team, getting them ready to go. We saw you at one point, you were dancing along with the pep band, which I'm sure not being totally, you know what I mean, in the game. You're not, you have that opportunity to see the pep band. But a great atmosphere last night. It was a good win. 38-31 took down Lincoln. The ladies already with 3 wins, 3 and 4. What'd you think after that, seeing that game and that win last night?
Oh, it was awesome. The locker room was really hype afterwards. We were just so happy.
Yeah, I bet so. Because, you've already met the mark of the total wins last year, and we've talked to Brian about this a little bit too, Megan, just the continued development. It's kind of just baby steps, one game at a time kind of mentality, but you can really see some really nice pieces coming together. Where have you been most surprised early on this season by the ladies?
I think especially with last night, just dealing with the different lineups that we've had to throw in there, being without Millie and being without Sydney. I think we told Tanya as the JV game was starting that she was going to start last night, and she hasn't started yet. So I think just having the different lineups and everybody going in, and everybody stepped up, especially last night, and played their role and didn't try to go outside of themselves. And it was, a total team effort, I think, is to have that this early in the season. Just speaks to how well we're going to do later on, because it's a long season and people will get sick and people will get hurt. And to have everybody just step up into their role is great to have early on.
Yeah. And when you looked at that win last night, I know when Coach Murphy came up at halftime, it's just like, you could feel it. That's a big win. And it was a pretty decisive win. Yeah. Really locking onto the defensive side. Ochoa's averaged about 17 points a game last night. She had 9. Martinez, their second leading scorer, averaged 9. She had 0. What can you speak to the defensive intensity that the Bobcats are showing right now?
I mean, I think that's what we've been working towards for the last 3 or 4 years. Even with these guys, having the ability to coach them when they were in 5th and 6th grade, and I'm doing the same drills with them as we were doing with the high school to get their defensive positioning. I mean, we were sending stats around this morning, and we're ranked 5th in 5A for points allowed. I mean, and 3rd in 5A in defensive rebounds. So that just shows that we have a total team defense when we're holding teams. I mean, we even held Mason City to 44 points when they averaged 67. Yeah. So getting our bodies in position where we're not reaching and we're not fouling, and we're just having great defensive position is, I mean, you could tell early on that Lincoln was flustered, that they couldn't do what they normally want to do.
Well, we even said that we felt that Mason City was a little flustered at the beginning of that game, too, because I don't think they expected to be challenged like that early on. I've noticed the help defense this year has been head and shoulders.
Yes.
As well, too. How do you work on that, or how have you kind of addressed that going into the season?
We've worked on which side to help from. It was something that we definitely worked on with Mason City, and they finally locked into that. Like, as the ball's being driven, you can't help, especially teams like Mason City that shoots from the outside. Right. You can't help from that ball side because they're just going to kick it out. It's got to come from the other side, and they really started to lock in on that. And then the rotations. So if somebody from the other side comes in and helps, somebody from the top has to go down, and you just kind of scramble. And the only way to be able to do that is if everybody's hustling and everybody's paying attention. And right now we have everybody hustling and everybody paying attention on the defense, and then that helps us, transition down to the offensive side.
I also feel like on that defensive side, you talked about the rankings when it comes to defensive rebounding, and it really seems the stalwarts down on the block as you look at the junior Ellie Hughes, which oh, my goodness. We talk about her all the time, just her tenacity. And then you get a freshman, Frankie Long, who's not playing like a freshman. Yeah. What can you talk about the post play that you're seeing so far?
I love it. I got to beat on him a little bit in practice today. This is always my fun. I love to do it. Murphy goes down. He's like, I got the football pad. And I was like, nope, I'm just going to go beat on him. It's going to be fun. Frankie has been to every open gym we've had since 7th grade, and Frankie and Millie are good friends, so they just kind of bring each other to everything, and she has worked on it for 2 years. So she is a freshman, but she knows what we want out of her and has known that for 2 years. And she just has a nose for the ball. Yeah. I mean, on rebounds. She has a nose to just go get it. I think last night you could tell with Julia, she's 6'3", but she doesn't go get it.
No.
And Frankie was relentless and ended up with 16, and then Frankie fouls out, and Ellie Hughes just boxed Julius out on at least 2 times and just got huge rebounds towards the end of the game where it's like Ellie's giving up 6-7 inches to that girl. And Ellie's just like, nope, this is my ball. And, I mean, you feel that in practice. Like, when we're doing defensive stuff against them, I got done, and Murphy comes in and he goes, did Ellie get you with one? Because she usually gets me one, like, right here. And I was like, no, I stayed out of the way of that. But
Well, Millie, and your mom's talking about your close relationship with Frankie. One thing I see whenever I see you on the bench, it was Friday night when it found out you couldn't really go, is you're an incredible encourager for the people that are out there. What does it mean to you to see friends that you've been in open gym, that you've been in games with, having success so far?
Oh, I'm so proud of them, especially just Amara Johnson. When she shoots, and then if it doesn't go in, she'll get back on defense, and she hustles back, and she just keeps hustling, even if her shots don't fall. And the same with Kinsley and Frankie and all of them.
Yeah, and that's one thing we've also been impressed with. The freshmen, you mentioned Frankie Long and Amara Johnson, their IQ for freshmen, basketball IQ, has been...
It's pretty high.
For a freshman. I mean, that's something that you can't teach usually sometimes. I mean, it's a knowledge base that you get from playing, but to have that as a freshman's got to be big too, because it always seems like Amara, like on a drive, when she gets a steal, she knows maybe the contact, and she doesn't miss many of those layup opportunities.
Yeah, and again, that's a testament to their commitment to it and coming to everything in the summer. Because we went to, Sunday leagues. We went over to a summer camp tournament over in Cedar Rapids, and they were there. And they're like the main two stalwarts on that. So we got to start coaching them into some of those schemes all summer. And those two, especially in being freshmen, but everybody on our team is so coachable. Mm-hmm. And like you pull them out and you tell them something, and you can see the wheels turning the next time they go in, and they're like, that wasn't quite right. And, with them being freshmen, their learning curve is just a lot steeper. So you can see it happening from, like, beginning a game to end of a game that, okay, they finally got that one. And so now we can work on the next thing that we need to tell them. It's getting a little less back and forth with Amara now, because sometimes it was like, well, we're going to put her in. We'll see what happens. Could be really good. Could be could be not so great. Yeah. But now it's just like, okay, Amara's going in, and we got this for a while.
Yeah. She showed a lot of maturity late in that game.
Yeah.
The ball seemed real secure in her hands. Millie, as you've been playing this year, when you've been able to play, your role has drastically shifted. So you and Amara are a lot of the primary ball handlers, along with Kinsley when she's out there. How are you adapting to having the ball in your hands a lot more than you did last year?
Just having to see the passes that are open, and when they're open, pass them. If I pass it late, then it's a turnover, and we don't turn the ball over.
We try not to.
Well, this is what I know. Following Bobcat girls, the less we do, the better our games go. So that's but are you liking that responsibility, or are you going to be okay going back to the wing and allowing Amara and Kinsley to kind of run the show?
They can run the show.
All right.
I can already tell how that was going.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
then that means you have to shoot. There you go.
You're going to take the shot?
Maybe.
Where's the spot on the floor? Is it the right wing, left wing? You like on the right high post? Where's your shot?
Left high wing.
Okay. All right. I like it. I would be right high wing. Dylan, you're like NBA 4-point territory.
That's right. I like the
wings. If you're in the gym.
I like the wings coming up the sideline. Now, it's been 5 years since I really played, but I like anything. I'm short, so anything from about 3 feet behind the three on the wings.
You got to get it over the defender.
That's right.
Just to the right, top of the key.
That's right.
That's where I go.
All right. I like it. Tomorrow night, or Friday night, getting ahead of myself here. It's only Wednesday. Fort Dodge, it's part of our Friday showcase. Tip time right around 6:15. Dodgers, I don't know what it is. They might not be the most talented team in the world, but they always bring physicality. Yeah. I'm sure that's one thing you're getting ready for against the Dodgers.
Yeah, and it's always a game between us and them. There seems to be a lot of fouls called early on, people going down.
Don't expect an early bedtime on Friday.
Probably I wouldn't. No. I mean, if it goes the way I hope it goes, it's gonna take a while. But they don't have as much size as they have in the past. They had a big girl last year who had been the big girl for the 4 years prior that finally graduated. And so they don't really replace that with a lot of size. Their tallest girl is kind of built like Millie, so not super physical, and she doesn't want to be physical. She'll be on the outside a lot and looking to drive. So it'll be an interesting matchup. They've had really good showings against some teams. Like I think they beat Lincoln by like 40 points because they threw a press on them that Lincoln couldn't handle. But then there's a next game where they only score 20 or 30, and it seems like it should have been something that they could handle. So they're a little up and down, but they have a lot of new people to the varsity, kind of like we do. They don't have much on the bench that has any experience at all. So it'll be interesting to see how we match up against them on Friday.
Yeah, it should be a good one. We're looking forward to it. Dylan?
I'm just kind of hearing you. I think you feel like some positivity maybe about Friday night.
Yeah.
If Bobcats come out victorious, what is the key that you think we've got to do to be able to take out the Dodgers?
I think we have to take care of the ball. They're going to come out and press us if they've seen anything. So we have to take care of the ball and do it in a way that's under control. If we can get that done and get them to play in a half-court game, I think we got a good shot at it, because I don't think they'll deal with our half-court defense very well.
Plus, you're at home, and the student section has been
all the way down here.
They got to drive all the way down here. Let's send them home unhappy.
Yeah. Millie, best of luck rest of the season. Rest up that knee, and hopefully we see you back out there soon, all right?
Okay.
All right. Megan, thanks for the time.
Yeah, thanks.
She definitely didn't get, you can talk for a while.
Forever.
You're wearing off on her, though. I've noticed improvements since last year.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely cheers. She's out there dancing in the lineup before the game. I'm like, that's my kid. That's the part of. And the pep band, she's in the marching band, so she has her own cheering section from the pep band that cheers her on, and I think that they help her. Get
going.
Fired up too.
That's awesome.
That is great. Hey, our next game for girls coming up Friday against Fort Dodge, like we mentioned. Coverage starts at 6. Tip off at 6:15. Guys game will follow. We'll switch gears and we'll talk swimming. We'll find out if Mike Loupee's still alive. I believe he is. He went swimming with the Sharks last time we knew down in Mexico. We'll talk that and much more when we come back. Bobcat Live inside Rosie's on KFJB-TV.
You'll find the perfect mattress for you at McGregor's Furniture and Mattress. You choose the firmness, comfort, and support level, all at a great price. McGregor's always has a great selection of sofas, recliners, dining room, and bedroom furniture to help you live and relax in comfort and style. Their staff will help you find just what you're looking for. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, is open 7 days a week. They're proud to support Bobcat Athletics.
You should never have to wait after ordering new appliances. At Penn's Appliance, you wouldn't. With an incredible selection in stock and ready to install today. Our friendly team is here to help you pick the perfect set to match your style. And let our professional technicians install and set up your new appliances, often delivering the very next day. Stop in today, see all the new features, and find your new look at Penn's Appliance. For sales and service of everything appliance, go see the Pence team.
As you walk inside, you know right away the place for fun is Wayward Social. There's always plenty of bowling action, so plan for your next outing to include bowling at Wayward Social. Also, meet your friends for lunch, dinner, or your favorite beverages. You will also absolutely love their daily lunch specials, Monday through Friday, including endless pizza by the slice. You choose the toppings. Wayward Social is now open at 11:30 a.m., 7 days a week. Wayward Social on South 6th Street in Marshalltown.
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Bobcat Live from Wayward Social in Marshalltown. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button on our channel, youtube.com/@KFJB-TV. Brandon Lewis with you back inside Rosie's at Wayward Social. Welcome in Mike Loupee, head coach for boys swimming. How are you?
So far, so good.
That's good. Last time we talked to you, I thought you were coming on Bobcat Live, and then I get a message that you're swimming with sharks in Mexico or something was going on. How did that trip go?
Yeah, well, as soon as the state meet was over, that's kind of how I decompress now that I'm retired. Yeah, we have my wife and I have a timeshare down there, and in the wintertime, the bull sharks come in, and I know the dive shop owners real well, so they tried to get my life insurance policy for my wife going.
Carson Snyder with us. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Good. What events do you compete in?
Whatever coach tells me to swim.
Just whatever, huh? So what was the last one?
Think the 4x1
Okay.
for me, but I swam the 500 for the first time the last meet. That went pretty good.
Good. Cohen Thatcher with us here as well, too. Oh, what were you going to say?
Nothing.
Okay, all right. Cohen, what events do you swim in?
I pretty much just do butterfly and backstroke.
Okay. All right. Coach, what do you like about these guys? Versatility, it sounds like.
Yeah, Cohen's been with us for 4 years. Early this summer, he had a knee problem and underwent surgery, and real pleased with he did everything he needed to do to come back. At the start of the season, the knee hasn't been an issue. I don't think he's even talked to me about it. So,
wow.
So he's come back ready to go, and he's been just a steady hand in the backstroke and the butterfly all 4 years. Just a kid you just always know is going to be there and do a good job. Carson came out. This is his second year. He's just a great team member. He's always, no matter how hard the practice is, he's got a smile on his face. He's working hard all the time. He's encouraging his teammates, and he's going to do whatever I ask him to do. And, a coach can't have too many kids like that.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Carson, do you run cross country too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that endurance factor, I'm sure it's got to kind of help in swimming to a degree, right?
I wish it helped more. I'll say that.
Does he put you through the ringer at practice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
But you guys have had success out there in the lanes, and it's paid off. What's the most rewarding aspect of being on the boys' swim team so far for you in your career?
Winning.
Yeah.
Just like the whole energy of winning. Most of the seasons, we always end up with the winning record, so feels good to end that way.
Battling back from a knee injury, what'd you do to kind of rehab and get yourself ready to go for the season?
Well, my focus over the summer was just getting in PT, getting back to where I can start putting in the work at practice and focus on my technique.
Yeah. So you feel good? You feel where you want to be?
Yeah, I got into the water expecting to feel a little different, but I felt fine, and we've been putting in the hard work, and it's not bothered me since.
Yeah. So you had practice tonight. How'd everything go?
Nobody drowned. That's always the number one thing. The guys we've kind of cranked up the intensity just over the last week or so. We started morning practices, so it's very dark and very quiet at 5:30 in the morning. And the guys have been there. Everybody's been there, and they're in the water. I've got to warm up on the board, and they're in the water without me barking at them. So that's always good. So they're working well. The season started well so far. I think we're 3-0 in duels. We got second at Boone, and we won our Bobcat invite last Saturday. It came right down to the last relay, and it was pretty exciting, and we pulled that one out. So, like Carson says, it's fun to win.
Yeah, it never gets old, right? So what's that rigorous schedule? Practicing maybe in the morning and then in the afternoon and that kind of thing. Putting your body through that grind. How much does it help by late in the season for you?
So much. I can't even describe what it's like going on taper. And swimming, you go from almost dead, feels like, to being reborn. You feel so good.
How about for you, Cohen?
Yeah, just putting the work throughout the season and finally seeing those times, those big, huge time drops at the end of the season is very rewarding.
So where are you guys both at? Where are you at now, and where do you kind of want to be?
Any way that just helps the team. I don't really have a specific goal. Just whatever coach needs.
Yeah. How about for you, Cole?
I'd say my main focus this year is the backstroke. I hope to drop quite a few seconds on that.
How many more? You got one or two more before Christmas break?
We go to Fort Dodge tomorrow, and then on Monday we've got a triple duel that's going to be. It's almost like a little invite. It's kind of blown up. It was a duel with Grinnell, and then Grinnell asked us to have it at our place because there was a conflict with the college. And we said sure, and then they said, "Oh, by the way, we had said Newton could come," and then a week later, there's like, "Oh yeah, Vinton Schellsberg is coming too." So hats off to Bob Gilbertson. He runs our timing system and everything, and he and Coach Delaney will figure out everything, but we're running a double duel with 2 varsity entries, so 4-lane scoring. That keeps the score tight. And Newton's got a very elite swimmer, Finn Martin. He'll win whatever they put him in. And then Vinton Schellsberg's got a pretty hot medley relay. Grinnell's got a couple of sprinters. So we're going to be challenged at different parts of the lineup by those different teams. And with 4-lane scoring, it's almost like a little invite. I'm getting kind of excited about it.
So how does that affect when you go into a match, kind of knowing what you know, like you mentioned about the different swimmers and what they can do? How do you use that to your advantage with somebody like Carson to be able to move him around?
Well, like Carson, he'll swim most anything, and he fills in the number 2 or number 3 slot for us, and it's kind of a security blanket that you've got a few guys like that we can move around, and and like he says, whatever you need, coach, and I'll put him in the 200 free and say, I need you to beat the kid in the lane next to you and get 4th place, and those points are huge, because if it's 5th place, most people think, well, that's only a point. But that's 1 point that they don't get and 1 point that we do. So every point is virtually a 2-point swing. So, we Coach Delaney and I look at Bound and have the times, and we scout pretty hard. And we're fortunate to have numerous swimmers that we can move around. And we will kind of match strengths, and I'll look for a weak place in the lineup where we can put 3 guys and maybe 1, 2, 3 them and gain big points in a particular event. So it's so far I haven't had to worry about my job in the lineup because these guys have been taking care of it in the water. So,
yeah, that's got to be nice.
Yeah, it's relaxing. I'm an old retired guy.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I don't need that stress, so it works pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any one event that you guys, either of you, are kind of looking forward to this year? You're kind of circling on the calendar, getting excited for that one?
Not specifically, to be honest, but yeah.
I really like the med relay. You're focusing on your part of it, but also being a part of that team, competing to beat other teams is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. How do you kind of figure out where are you at? I know you kind of talked about with the practices and stuff, but how do you do that over the Christmas break right around the corner? I mean, does that make?
You see the looks there.
Okay.
I'm a throwback to Coach Funk. He always said you don't practice on the 24th, the 25th, or the 26th. And after that, guys, it's whatever you want. We will be in the water twice a day, and sometimes 3 times a day. And the guys begged my wife not to go on vacation because I don't have anything to do except have another practice. And my wife is going on vacation, so we'll put a lot of yards in, and we have things we call challenges to kind of break up the monotony, and so we play a little bit. When they're tired and dragging, I remind them that they're out because this is fun. So
it must still be fun. You're still out.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Hey, what other kind of activities are both of you involved in, Cohen?
I'm a part of FFA.
Okay, awesome. You maybe going to be a farmer one day?
No, but I hope to pursue a job in agriculture.
Awesome. That's great.
I did cross country. I do tennis, and then I'm in National Honor Society as well.
Awesome. Couple good, solid guys right here, it seems like.
Swimmers tend to be that way.
That is for sure. Hey, Mike, thanks so much for coming out, guys. Appreciate the time. Best of luck rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, you've been watching Bobcat Live here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.